This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the good folks over at ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. When you need to get legal cannabis products delivered to you in less than an hour, and if you live where Ease is active, you're just a few clicks and keystrokes away from getting your order in, assuming, of course, that it's during legal delivery hours. Then you just sit back, relax, and wait less than an hour for your Ease order to be delivered. Ease only partners up with the top dispensaries in their active areas, so you know you're getting quality product at great prices. Check out the wide variety of properly tested, packaged, and labeled California legal marijuana products available through Ease by firing up ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. Big thanks to everyone over at Ease for the support that makes this show possible. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Thursday, August 16th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 551 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We start off today up in Canada with big news of an enormous injection of capital into the nation's largest legal cannabis business, as liquor giant Constellation Brands upped their stake in Canopy growth with an investment of $5 billion Canadian, or around $3.8 billion US. For that infusion of capital, Constellation Brands will walk away from the deal owning 38% of the company, with exercisable warrants that would push that total up over 50%. Constellation Brands made big headlines in cannabis for the first time last year when it took 10% of Canopy growth by investing just under $250 million Canadian. This latest investment is a pretty clear signal that big alcohol has its sights firmly set on legal cannabis. Swing over to Matt Lamer's story on Marijuana Business Daily for more on this one. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Yesterday, marijuana officials in the state of California released some numbers for how its new adult use marijuana industry is doing, and so far, things are a little below expectations. California state officials had estimated that legal cannabis taxes and fees would bring in $185 million in the first 6 months of the year. But yesterday we learned that California brought in just $82 million in that stretch of time, or $103 million short. There are a lot of factors that play into that shortfall. Chief among them are the high taxes paid by legal consumers, as well as the general lack of availability statewide of options for buying legal cannabis. Wrapping up today's top stories is Kyle Yeager over at Marijuana Moment, who did a nice job of pulling together results from Tuesday's primary elections held in a number of states. As Kyle's reporting, marijuana legalization did pretty well that night, with 3 of the 4 states seeing pro-cannabis candidates advancing through the primary process. Voters in Connecticut, Minnesota, and Vermont all gave their electoral nods to candidates who have been pretty vocal about supporting some level of cannabis legalization. Another good one to read and digest in full. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, ease.com, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease.com makes it so simple to get all of the state legal marijuana products that you need, and they bring it right to you. Ease partners up with only the top dispensaries in their active areas, so you know you're in for a stellar consumer experience with quality products at top prices galore. You won't know what to do with your hands. You'll be so excited. There's just something special about someone driving up to your door and delivering legal, properly packaged, labeled, and tested cannabis products. What a world we live in. Find out just how easy California legal cannabis can be by opening up ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E, and getting your order for delivery in. That's ease.com. Big thanks to everyone over at Ease for the support that makes today's show possible. All right, time for the Blitz. Marijuana Moments on fire today as Chris Roberts picks up 2 stories to kick off our Blitz. First up is a good piece looking at how marijuana ballot measures could affect U.S. Senate races taking place in November. With cannabis-related voter initiatives set to take place in Missouri and North Dakota, the question of how much draw they will have for voters along the political spectrum remains left to be worked out. Chris's second story today is a good pickup of news out of New Jersey, where a federal judge has ruled on the side of a business that fired an employee for using medical marijuana, even though his use of medical cannabis was legal under state law. Daniel Cotto Jr. was fired from his job as a forklift driver with a New Jersey-based glass company and was fired after he refused to take a drug test following a 2016 on-the-job accident. The company knew Mr. Cotto Jr. was a medical marijuana patient when it hired him back in 2011, but decided it was a fireable offense after the 2016 accident. Mr. Cotto Jr. sued his former employer soon after, and earlier this week, Federal District Court Judge Robert Kugler dismissed the case, saying that federal law trumps state cannabis law in the realm of employment-based drug testing. This is a big issue for the industry, so I'd make sure to swing over for the full read. Herb takes a good comprehensive look at the ballot measure to legalize adult use cannabis that was recently certified in North Dakota. The successful ballot measure, which garnered more than 14,000 verified signatures of support, was designed to be easily implemented, according to David Owen of Legalize ND, the group behind the effort, and as such requires no special license to sell cannabis. Likewise, the ballot measure sets no limits on cultivation or how much cannabis any one person can possess. We swing back out to the chaotic cannabis markets of California, where we have a story of marijuana cultivators in San Luis Obispo County who are fighting back against government officials who want them to shut down. The problem for the marijuana cultivators is that the rules within the county have changed over recent months, and new regulations now make commercial cultivation illegal. A number of hopeful farmers have invested in land and infrastructure over the past few years based on an older regulation that allowed registered cultivators to exist. Some of those farmers now want the county government to at least let them harvest the crop they have up now. One of the organizers behind one of Missouri's 3 prospective pro-cannabis ballot measures is suing the other 2. Brad Bradshaw is one of the main backers of the Find the Cures ballot measure, which would set a 15% retail tax on medical cannabis. Mr. Bradshaw filed 2 separate lawsuits this week targeting New Approach Missouri and Missourians for Patient Care, the other 2 organizations pushing for a November ballot measure. Marijuana Business Daily is a good update on how things are going in Ohio as that state works to roll out its nascent medical marijuana industry. According to original reporting by the Cincinnati Enquirer, the state's licensed marijuana cultivators are just now getting seed to soil, meaning it'll be at least 4 to 6 months before any kind of harvest is ready. From there, cannabis will still need to make it through the processing and testing phase before landing on Ohio dispensary shelves. And finally for today, Denver Westward has a bit of a lighter story about the evolving attitudes people have about the public use of cannabis. According to an online poll conducted by a sober living website, 94% of cannabis consumers say they wouldn't care if they saw a person out in public puffing on a vape pen, while 76% of non-consumers said the same thing. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at MJ Today Daily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.